What's up, party people, and welcome to STONIECAST number 199 and season 6, episode 25 of Thoughts and Hunches, Making Money in Bunches and Sucker Punches. It's your boy Stony coming back at you for the 199th time, and I'd like to welcome all of my fellow scumbags, criminals, hoodlums, lowlifes, shady characters, heathens, fugitives from justice, scoundrels, altar boys with unhealthy relationships with their priests, hustlers, wise guys, hooligans, foul-mouthed, raging alcoholics, MLB players that have got into a fight with Bryce Harper. You know who you are, and thanks for watching. Degenerates, fienders, cheats, gangsters, everything you could imagine. Let's face it, anybody with a massive gambling problem, all right? If you're new to the show, hey, congratulations. That means you probably fit into one or a few of those categories, so welcome, because you're now one of us. One of us. One of us. Gooba gobba, one of us. We accept him, one of us. Know the reference. That's all I got to say. Hey, make sure you hit the subscribe button right down here in the lower right-hand corner. Ring that bell. That way you can get notified every time I put out a new video. To spread the word's also very easy. Just tell other fienders, degenerates, and scumbags, you know, like Matt and Josh, to go to YouTube and enter Thoughts and Hunches right in the search bar. That'll take you to my page so you can get dialed in to everything that I drop on you. Also, if you're new and you don't know what's what with this channel, it's college and pro football winners, MLB playoff winners, and college basketball winners. And I just give you picks. No player props and absolutely no parlays ever. Why? Because I like my money. I don't like giving it away because that's all you're doing when you're doing parlays. The books don't expect a guy like me to deliver this many winners. I'm an outlier and I'm a disruptor. I'm like the Beastie Boys. I disrupt.
Step inside the party, disrupt the whole scene!
Yeah, something like that. That's exactly what it is. I go to the mattresses and I get the info for you every week in order to get you to the window with a ticket to cash. Now, before I get to the picks, as usual, I have some thoughts.
Give me all you got! Listen, give me all you got!
That's right, Al. You let him know. I'm going to start off by talking about college hoops. And I want to reiterate what I said 2 months ago when I said this is one of the best college basketball seasons ever, with the preseason tournaments that were going on at the time. Now, here we are 2 months later, ratings are at an all-time high. So now, while there's still 2 months to go before we crown a national champion, I now want to go on the record and say this is the best college basketball freshman class of all time. That may seem like a stretch, but I'm going to rank my top 10 as of right now. And of course, these are subject to change, and this is in no way a mock draft of any kind, because I don't acknowledge the NBA, and I don't care where these kids go when they leave college. So here we go, the top 10. Number 10, Neoklis of Dallas from Virginia Tech. This kid is 19. He can shoot the lights out, runs the point at 6'9". He's already played 3 years of pro ball in Greece, and he can play 4 different positions. Number 9, Stanford guard Ebuka Okori. Last year, he was the 4th-ranked player just in the state of New Hampshire and was only a 3-star recruit. But he opened eyes after dropping 36 on Carolina a few weeks ago, and he hasn't slowed down. Number 8 is Arizona's Koa Pete. The 6'8 forward was a monster in the preseason tournaments, but he didn't play all that well for about a month, though he seems to have rebounded again and is starting to play really well right now for the nation's number 1 team. Number 7 is Arkansas point guard Darius Acuff Jr. When Arkansas loses, it's not on Acuff because he's averaging 27 per in those losses. He's shooting 41% from downtown, and his assist-to-turnover rate's 2.5 to 1. Number 6 is North Carolina's Caleb Wilson. The Heels power forward scored over 13 times already, and when he puts on 25 pounds at the next level, he's going to be a monster. Number 5 is Illinois shooting guard or point guard Keaton Wagler. He's averaging 18, 5, and 5 from the 2 spot on a team that is filled with upperclassmen and former European pros. Plus, he doesn't even turn 19 for another 3 weeks. Number 4 is Houston point guard Kingston Flemings. He's a pure scorer, and he can get 15 on a night when he's not shooting it well. What sets him apart from the others is that he plays for Houston, so you know he's playing on both sides of the floor. Number 3 is BYU's AJ DeBonsa. This is not a knock on DeBonsa because he's got it all, but he was the number 1 recruit of the class. The small forward doesn't exactly fill it up from 3, but his mid-game is ridiculous. He's shooting over 50% from the field, and he's 3rd in the nation in scoring at 23 per, and he's improving defensively. Number 2 is Duke's Cameron Boozer. The Blue Devils power forward is one of the favorites for the Wooden Award, and his efficiency is just stupid. It's just off the charts. On a team that should have 3 or 4 first-round draft picks, Boozer's been the best on the team, and he's been dominating since his very first game. Number 1 right now, as of now, is Kansas guard Darren Peterson. He missed more than a few games with a couple of different ailments, most notably his thighs and his cramps, his hamstrings. But he's a true 3-level scorer that nobody can guard right now one-on-one. And he's NBA ready to go right now. Last Saturday, he only played the first half and still scored 18 in a showdown against BYU's DeBonsa. Now, that's my top 10 right now, and I could have easily dropped 5 or 6 more names in there, like Tennessee's Nick Ament, right? Arizona's Braden Burris, Michael Brown from Louisville. Who am I missing? Braden Mullins from UConn. I'm watching him right now. Losing, but I'm watching him. Michael Brown from Louisville. Oh my God. I already said him. Who am I missing? I'm missing a couple. Oh, Miami's Sheldon Henderson. Jesus, this guy. And Washington's Hannah Steinbach. They're everywhere. And these guys are incredible. So I'll say it again. If you ain't watching college hoops, or you're one of those I'll wait till March people, you're missing out on some unbelievable talent with 10 guys that I just listed, plus 6 more, and haven't even turned 20 yet. None of them. All right, so Super Bowl 60 is here, and it's in 2 days. I will have not only the side and the total of the game, but a few fun prop bets to get down on, along with a whole slew of college hoops tomorrow. Here's a few thoughts on my history with Super Bowls. I was in person for Super Bowl 16 in January of 1982 at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan, to see the 49ers beat the Bengals. And then I went again 3 years later in 85 at Stanford Stadium in Palo Alto to see the Niners beat the Dolphins. From the late 90s to about 2010, I spent Super Bowl weekend in Reno with my homeboys at John Asquaga's Nugget in what was then known as the Rose Ballroom. 15 years ago, in February of 2011, I was in Las Vegas with about, 20 or 30 Greeks from the Bay Area for my homeboy, the Doc's bachelor party. I flew in on Friday, bet a week college hoop slate on Friday night, and went to bed around midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. Now, my homeboy Vijax, who I was sharing a room with, he ordered a hooker to the room while I was sleeping. The story goes, according to Vijax, because I was asleep, she asked him why I was in bed so early in Vegas on Super Bowl weekend. And his response was, my boy right there is a professional gambler, and his Super Bowl is tomorrow when there's 127 college basketball games to bet on, so he needs his rest. Now, at this point, the chick is butt naked in the room. And allegedly, according to Vijax, she walks over to me while I'm sleeping and puts her kitty right in my face. She then asks Vijax, will this wake him up? And he says, be careful, it might. Now, it didn't, right? I slept through the whole freaking thing, woke up at 7:30 in the morning, had breakfast and 2 double Bloody Marys before heading to the book at the Mirage with a box of cigars, 2 cans of chew, and my handwritten notes, because back then, computers and cell phones weren't allowed in the book. I then proceeded to have the heater of all heaters, and at one point was 17-2 betting on games. When you hit that many winners, the amount of your wager starts to increase. And what started out as $50 bets then became $250 per game. And I closed out the night by hitting the degenerate special with Long Beach State covering over Hawaii and finishing at 24-4 for a cool $6,000 on the day. I mean, come on. I had the Packers -3 over the Steelers on Sunday and came home with a fistful of cash. When I got back to the Bay, I made a stop at Emeryville, California. Best Buy. Remember those? Remember those stores? Yeah, I know. I walked in and I bought an Apple laptop that was about $1,200 back then. And I also bought a big screen TV for $2,800, which is how much they cost back then. Now you can get them for a couple $100, right? Paid in cash for both of them and had to explain why I was paying in cash. It was funny, but just another memorable weekend for my homeboy Doc's bachelor party. Many, many, many wonderful Super Bowl stories. Now, as for the week that was last week, with no football last week, it was college hoops only. And the week started out dismally with 1-2 on Monday and 6-10 on Wednesday. I slowly started to turn it around with a 9-5 Wednesday, 7-6 on Thursday, and 6-4 on Friday to get to 29-27 heading into Saturday, which turned out to be a lot like my week. A slow start of 2-4 in the early session and 2-3 in the early afternoon. Now it was time to turn it up. And that's exactly what I did. I closed on an 8-2 run, including the last 5 and the degenerate special, to make my week another winning week, my 8th straight winning week. Let's take a peek at the numbers. Last week, 50 wins, 39 losses, 56.18%, solid, but not great. NFL playoffs, with no games last week, doesn't matter, but going into the last game, 16 wins, 8 losses, 66.67%. Those are mind-boggling numbers with only one game left. NCAA basketball for the season over is 800 picks, 465 wins, 335 losses, and 5 pushes. That's 58.12%. Great numbers. Got to pick up the pace, though, if I want to hit 59 in the last 3 weeks before conference tournament starts. Degenerate special, another win last week. 18 wins, 11 losses, 62.07%. When you're hitting 62 on the late night get right, things are good. Sunday night, 17 wins, 9 losses, 1 push, 65.38%. That's just huge because I've been huge all year on Sunday nights. Overall, every pick that I've given you, all 23 episodes this season, 1,500 total plays. 1,600 total plays now. 977 wins, 688 losses, 13 pushes. That's 58.68% for the season. I mean, that can only mean one thing.
Wow, winning.
That's right, Chuck. You tell him. I mean, it's very simple, the way that these things happen. I just want you to remember that all these picks are 100% free that I'm giving you. So for all the touts out there, I see you, Brent Musburger, charging for picks and giving you 75 to 80% winners guaranteed, documented. Bullshit. Stop. We all know you're full of shit. Plus, you're charging for these picks.
Oh!
I mean, come on. With me, it's very simple. Just come to YouTube every week, and I'll drop my plays on you for free. Plus, I want you all to know that these are all my bets, personally, that I am going to make with my own money. So I'm not just throwing darts at a board saying, I like this team, I like that team. No. Okay, you ready for this now? Let's go. Away we go to episode number 25.
Just win, baby.
You tell him, Al. That's how it's done. The new week began on Monday with a 2-2 night after North Carolina showed the world what point shaving looks like. I followed that up with a great back-to-back 10-6s on Tuesday and Wednesday. That helped a lot considering yesterday's 5-5. I also gave out 7 more picks today, and I'm 1-1 right now with 4 games going on right now, including a good one with Connecticut and St. John's. And St. John's is now taking a 10-point lead. The only problem is I got to listen to Gus Johnson, who's just insufferable. Ugh, goodness gracious. Gus, I can't do it. But I'm already up for the week. Looking good. Big day tomorrow.
Clacking lots of dollars, we all got gold.
That's what it is. That boy Mix-a-Lot. You tell him. Now, tomorrow's insane day for us. Tips off at noon Eastern on TNT in the Big East, and I like Villanova, laying 4.5 at Georgetown. The Hoyas have been playing much better lately. They've won 5 in a row, but Nova's been better all season. Noon Eastern on Big Fox in the Big Ten. I'm on Indiana minus 3.5 over Wisconsin. Both teams won 4 out of 5, but Wisconsin has had 3 straight home games before hitting the road here, while IU is back from their trip to La La Land, and they get the win and the cover at Assembly Hall. Noon Eastern on the Deuce in the SEC. I'm going to roll with Mississippi State at home catching 7 versus Arkansas. Mississippi State hasn't been great lately, and the last time they were home, they lost by 32 to Vanderbilt. And now they have to slow down Super Arkansas point guard Darius Acuff Jr. The Dogs will do enough at home to come in under the 7. Noon Eastern on the CW. Here's a good one in the ACC, and give me Virginia Tech on the road catching 10 at North Carolina State. I like NC State a lot. I'm a big fan of theirs. They've won 6 straight, and they played 4 of their last 5 on the road. Now they're back home. But there's too many points to lay against the dangerous Vatek squad that can score in bunches. Noon Eastern on the Big Ten Network, I like Nebraska, minus 11.5 on the road at Rutgers. Generally, I don't like laying such a big number on the road in conference, but Nebraska has to punish the shitty teams of the Big Ten because they're playing for possibly a 2 seed in the tournament. Noon Eastern on ESPN in the ACC. I'm on Syracuse on the road, catching 14 at Virginia. Syracuse has been hit or miss lately, while UVA's just cruising, right? Still too many points, though. Give me all of them. 1 Eastern on CBS in the Big Ten. I'm all over Purdue. At home, laying 19 over Oregon. Purdue's 3-game losing streak is gone after a 30-point win at Maryland. Oregon's a mess. Purdue rolls tomorrow night at Mackey. 1 Eastern on SEC Network. I'm going to dance with South Carolina at home, catching 1.5 versus Missouri, with a sprinkle on the money line.
Sprinkle me, man.
Attaboy, Earl. I knew you were there. USC ain't that good, but neither is Mizzou, who hasn't looked good lately, but they're still much better than the Gamecocks. So Mizzou on the money line. 2 Eastern on ACC Network. Give me Miami minus 8 on the road at Boston College. Miami freshman Sheldon Henderson, who I just talked about, he's been filling it up lately, while BC has just been struggling all season long.
Struggling.
Oh, Joe, was that you?
Struggling.
Oh, Joe, one more time.
Struggling.
I knew you had it in you. Thanks, Joe. Canes rolling that one. Noon Eastern on ESPN in the Big 12. I like Baylor, catching 15 in a chunk on the road at Iowa State. Baylor has looked good lately while winning 3 in a row, but ISU's been crushing teams. Cyclones win this one easily, but Baylor, they're going to show a little alligator blood by hanging around late.
Hanging around. Kids got alligator blood.
I love it, Teddy. 2 Eastern on the CW and the ACC. I'm on SMU minus 4 at Pittsburgh. Neither team's playing well, but Pitt has been getting blown out, while the toughness of the ACC is starting to take its toll on SMU after a hot start. I still like the Mustangs on the road here. laying the short number. 2 Eastern on TNT in the Big 12. I'm going to roll with Kansas State on the road, plus 10 at Texas Christian. The Big 12's Battle of the Purple goes down in Fort Worth, and while TCU, speaking of the Purple, TCU is clearly the better team. I mean, let's face it. KSU has the horses, though, primarily P.J. Haggerty, and they've got enough to keep this one close. 2 Eastern on the Deuce at the Moody Center in the SEC. Give me Mississippi plus 9.5 on the road at Texas. Texas needs to step it up if they want to be tournament worthy, and they'll get the W, but Ole Miss cashes. 2:30 Eastern on Big Fox in the Big 12. I'm all over Kansas, laying 19 over Utah. The Utes have been scuffling, which is the nice way to put it, while KU's rounding into form. Allen Fieldhouse is not going to be kind to Utah tomorrow. Rock chalk. 3:30 Eastern on SEC Network. Sorry, hold on. I just want to take a quick peek. St. John's is up 9 with 10 minutes to go. I've got the Johnnies. They're playing well. UConn is just, man, they're tough. But the Johnnies are playing well right now. I also have Belmont, and they look good too. All right. Anyway, as I was saying, 3:30 Eastern tomorrow, SEC Network, right here in Music City, USA, where I will be next Saturday. I like Oklahoma on the road, plus 13 at Vanderbilt. OU hasn't been very good lately. They've lost 5 straight, but they've covered 3 of those. Vandy righted the ship and has won 3 in a row now. Vandy wins, but OU cashes the ticket. 4 Eastern on ESPN in the Big 12. I'm on Oklahoma State on the road, catching 21 at top-ranked Arizona. Okie State is dangerous and playing well. They have no chance in winning this one at the McHale Center of all places, but Zona will take their foot off the gas once they get up by 20. 4 Eastern on the Deuce in the SEC. I'm going to roll with Alabama here on the road, catching 3.5 at Auburn with a sprinkle on the money line.
Sprinkle me, man. Sprinkle.
That a kid. Auburn won 5 in a row before dropping one on Rocky Top last Saturday, while Bama's been flip-flopping wins and losses in their last 6-7 games. The Tide are better. They've been the better team all season, and I've got them winning this one outright. 4 Eastern on ESPN Plus. We got a good one in the Atlantic 10. And I'm all over George Mason, laying 8 at home over St. Joseph's. Mason and VCU are looking up at St. Louis in the A10, while St. Joe's has played better lately, but they're going to get run here in Fairfax. 4 Eastern on ESPN Plus in the Mid-American Conference. Listen closely. I like Marshall at home, catching 3 versus Miami, Ohio, with a sprinkle.
Sprinkle me, man.
Yes. Miami's undefeated and are the talk of the MAC and possibly college hoops right now. But the unbeaten season comes to an end at the Henderson Center against a very good Marshall squad. 6 Eastern on SEC Network. I'm on Georgia on the road, laying a point and a hook on the road. How many times am I going to say that? At Louisiana State. Both teams are struggling right now, but Louisiana State is the better team, right? But they ain't going to win. Georgia is going to get it done at the Maravich Center. 6:30 Eastern on ESPN and the ACC. I'll roll with 4th-ranked Duke, minus 5.5 at number 14, North Carolina. I don't buy into the constant fawning over this rivalry by ESPN. It's just another rivalry and nothing special. It's a regional rivalry. You can talk all you want. Oh, it's the greatest. No, forget you, Dickie V. And if I know anything, ESPN will do whatever it takes to get Dick Vitale in that building tomorrow, right? The bottom line is both teams cost me this week as they both won but failed to cover. Duke never had a chance of covering while Carolina blatantly shaved points. Screw the heels. Go Duke. 8 Eastern on ACC Network. Give me Cal plus 3.5 at home over Clemson with a sprinkle.
Sprinkle me, man.
Something like that. Both teams come in playing well. And Clemson squeaked past Stanford Wednesday night while Cal was busy taking out Georgia Tech. I like Clemson, but Cal has opened some eyes and they're on the border of becoming ranked. Bears at home on the money line. The game of the day is in the Big Ten, and it is a biggie. It goes at 8 Eastern on Big Fox, and I'll take Michigan State minus a point and a chunk at home over Illinois. Why? 2 top 10 teams are meeting up, and while the Illini are looking like a tournament number 1 seed right now and cruising, they won 12 in a row since they lost at the buzzer to Nebraska. MSU's dropped 2 in a row. After last Friday's loss to Michigan, they lost at Minnesota on Wednesday. As much as I like Brad Underwood and the Illini, because they are the truth, I just can't see Tom Izzo losing 3 in a row. This game is not in the Champagne Room. It's at the Breslin Center. Big difference. Sparty minus 1 and a hook in a good one. Because they're all good ones. They're 3-3 against, or they're 5-5 against each other in the last 10 meetings. 8 Eastern on CBS Sports Network in the Mountain West. I'm all over Utah State on the road, laying 6.5 at Wyoming. Utah State's won 4 in a row and is now atop the Mountain West Conference, while Wyoming isn't bad, but they can't keep up with the Aggies. 8:30 Eastern on ESPN in the SEC. I like Tennessee on the road, catching a 1.5 at Kentucky. Tennessee lost a heartbreaker on Rocky Top last month to UK, but they'll get their revenge by stealing this one at Rupp. 8:30 Eastern on SEC Network. I'm on Texas A&M at home, catching 8 versus Florida. With first place on the line in the SEC and this being their only meeting until conference tournament time, Florida's the better team right now, and they get the win. But A&M getting 8 in College Station, way too much to pass up. 10 Eastern on CBS Sports Network. I'll roll with New Mexico at home minus 5 over Boise State. Boise's nice, and they're playing well. But New Mexico has to keep pace after losing to Utah State on Wednesday night. Lobos get right tomorrow night at the Pit. 10 Eastern in the Big Ten on FS1. I'll take UCLA minus 5 at home over Washington. Washington's stumbling their way through the Big Ten, and while UCLA's heater was halted in a double overtime loss to Indiana last Saturday, they bounced back by pounding Rutgers Tuesday night. UCLA eked out a win over Washington 2 months ago in Seattle, but at Pauley, the Bruins roll. Another big one in the Big 12 goes at 10:30 Eastern tomorrow night on ESPN, and give me Houston minus 1.5 on the road at Brigham Young. Houston's feeling themselves right now, and BYU can't seem to win the big one. They just can't. Cougars on the road in Provo. In the bet, wait, hold on. They're both Cougars. Houston on the road in Provo. St. John's only up 5 now. But that's all right. Still a lot of time. And finally, this week's Degenerate Special. Goes at 11:30 Eastern. It's on the Deuce in the West Coast Conference. And I'm on St. Mary's minus 12 at home over San Francisco. USF lost at home to the Gales 3 weeks ago by 14, and now the unfriendly confines of McKeon Pavilion will take its toll on the Dons. St. Mary's covers in the late night get-right. Okay, damn. That's 30 college plays right there. Free, I just gave you. For what is my Super Bowl tomorrow. The day before the Super Bowl is one of my favorite days of the year because there's so much action on the board. So that's it. Am I done?
No, I'm just getting warmed up.
That boy, Al. I knew you were there. Now, for the only time of the year, I will offer prop bets. With the state of modern day sports wagering, prop bets can be made on any game at any time. But I only do them on Super Sunday. So here's what I see and here's what I like. Sam Darnold under 227.5 passing yards. I don't see him flinging it all over the field against that defense. He will be successful, and if he doesn't turn it over, Seattle's going to run it as much as possible. He ain't going to put up big numbers, so I'm taking under. Drake May, longest rush of the day, over 12.5 yards. May will be given the green light to run whenever he wants, and if New England's run game struggles like it has all postseason, a case can be made that he'll be running for his life and he can run it. So give me over 12.5. Jackson Smith and Jigba under 93.5 yards at plus 110. I'm getting plus money here because everyone's going to take the over. The man is a beast. He's an absolute monster. There's no doubt that right now he's the best offensive player on the field on either side, probably in the NFL right now. He's been incredible all season long, and he will be the Patriots' number one priority on defense, so give me the under. First half total under 22.5. I just don't see both sides coming out slinging it. Both teams will try to run the ball and go for field position in the first half. It's unlikely either the Seahawks or the Patriots light it up. So for more than 3 touchdowns in the first half, it just seems like a stretch. Travion Henderson under 4.5 rush attempts. All New England has to do is give him the ball 5 times, and you beat me. Doesn't matter what he does with it once he gets it. The Pats are going to need both backs to split the load, but he's not getting the touches lately. He's not getting them. They're giving them to Stevenson instead. Rashid Shaheed over 22.5 receiving yards. With New England focusing on Smith and Jigba, Shaheed could get loose, and this could only mean 2 catches or 1 with speed, 1 big one. That's all I got for you. Sorry, I'm sorry I don't do it for those of you prop whores that play them all season. But what's the term? Stay in your lane. Props are not my lane. So I'm taking 6 flyers and see how they turn out. So let's get to why you're really here. Apparently there's a football game happening on Sunday. Super Bowl 60 goes at 6:30 Eastern on NBC at 501 Denim Jeans Stadium in the Silicon Valley, where Seattle's 4.5-point chalk over New England, and the total's listed at 45.5. Seattle got here as the NFC's top seed after getting the wild card week off with a bye. Then they blew out the 49ers and followed it up with a win over the Rams in the NFC Championship. New England's the AFC's number 2 seed, and after beating San Diego, they proceeded to take out Houston and ultimately Denver in the AFC Championship. The Seahawks are 14-5 against the number this season, which is the best in football by a half game over the Patriots, who are 14-6. So they both covered a lot of numbers this year. Seattle lost power back Zach Charbonnet in the divisional round, and that's a huge loss, as Charbonnet was the one who took the pressure off of Kenneth K9 Walker as Seattle's feature back. They make up for it, though, with the best wideout in the NFL this season in JSN, whose route running is second to none and is very reminiscent of an in his prime Jerry Rice. I'm not comparing him to Rice, but his route running is that stupid. We all know the story of Sam Darnold and how he was labeled as a bust, but after getting dumped by the Vikings following a 14-win season, he did it again this year with the Seahawks. Now he's in the Super Bowl as the first and probably the last USC quarterback to start in the Super Bowl, because SC's quarterbacks choke harder than Donnie's boy Phil Mickelson at Wingfoot. That's right. That's what they do. Now, he has a chance to prove me wrong, right? He absolutely does. Right? I've been riding him all season, but he's been on a heater. He's been absolutely on a heater. Defensively, Seattle is elite. They're physical. They attack the ball. They're violent. They're relentless. They're now tasked with stopping the Cinderella story of the Patriots. Sure, we've seen New England win many Super Bowls, but they're all gone now. And they've done it with a very young roster this time. Quarterback Drake May, my choice for NFL MVP, has been fantastic all season. No quarterback has ever beat 3 top 5 defenses to get to the Super Bowl until May did it in the last month. Now he's tasked with facing the league's number 1 defense without much of a running game, as Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson haven't done anything this postseason. Stephon Diggs and Kayshon Boutte, they're solid wideouts. And New England's defense has been top 5 all season. with May's historic run over those great defenses, hold on, wow. Solo ball. Wow. That was kind of, oof. And your boy Jackson is, oh my goodness. Anyway, I'm sorry. Losing my mind here, all right? Now, where was I? I was talking about May. With his historic run over those great defenses in the playoffs in San Diego, Houston, and Denver, the Patriots offense hasn't exactly been rolling. All right, let's face it. And we can't help but look at their weaknesses. One is their schedule, which was historically easy. And even in the playoffs, against those elite defenses, the Patriots beat Justin Herbert, who's never won a playoff game, C.J. Stroud, who played hot potato with the football, and a backup quarterback in Jared Stidham in the AFC title game. Not exactly murderer's row. Seattle has the edge at every position on the field. And that's calling the quarterback position a toss-up, as May was great all season until the playoffs. And Darnold was shaky all season until the playoffs, where he's been elite. The only real spot that New England has the edge, in my opinion, is head coach. Mike Vrabel is the man, period. Mike McDonald, like I said, he can prove me wrong, but he hasn't coached long enough for me to get a read on him, right? So New England has the edge there. Seattle has better special teams. They got a better running game. And like I just said, they're better everywhere. They're better all over the field. I just don't see how New England will be able to move the ball. But I just can't understand why so much money from the betting public has come in on Seattle, yet the number hasn't budged in 2 weeks. It's been stuck at 4.5. These types of games, I love the dog, and even a money line dog. But I may be going out on a limb here, but I think Seattle rolls. I really do. I see this game as a mismatch because of New England's incredibly soft schedule and Seattle's battle-tested schedule, meaning New England is playing up in competition while Seattle's playing down. The Seahawks are a team that beat the Rams and the 49ers to close out the season and then did it again in the playoffs while New England wasn't beating anybody. I said it 2.5 months ago and I'll say it again. The Seahawks are the NFL's best team, and they'll prove it by winning Super Bowl 60 fairly easy in what could be a blowout, and this one does stay under the total. I'm seeing 27-10 or worse, but it's going under. That's how I see it.
Show me the money. Spot for a Glock. I took a long overflow, but still got a knock.
Rod Tidwell. God bless you, Rod Tidwell. I mean, that's it. 30 college hoops plays to do some damage and lead up to the Super Bowl. Make sure you come back next week and check the comments or make sure to check out the comments section, first of all, starting on Sunday, where I will give you daily college picks every single day. And they're just going to keep coming all the way till April. Also, keep your eye out for STONIECAST number 200. Yes, it'll be my 200th STONIECAST. That's going to drop next Friday. So until then, just remember, if you want to win big, you got to bet big. Good teams win, but great teams cover. You can't go broke taking a profit. Scared money don't make money. The less you bet, the more you lose when you win. Shout out Chris the Bear FALLICA. For me, the action is the juice.
But for me, the action is the juice. Amen.
I'm in. You tell him, Mikey. The difference between winning and making money is that anyone can win betting chalk, but you can't make money unless you take the dogs. God made life a gamble, and we're still in the game. Shout out to the late, great Joe Diffie. There's money on the streets that can't be ignored. And finally, good luck to you. And yeah, I still miss you, Gooch, my brother. I wish you were here, hanging, to watch the Super Bowl with me.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.